few days ago, this farm was hit by a microburst and the straight-line winds that resulted from it. The difference between a tornado and a microburst for our discussions will be the direction of the wind. Tornadoes have a circular motion, and wind from a microburst is a straight-line wind resulting from the downward winds from a storm cell. As the wind drops from the sky, it has to go somewhere, and the more powerful wind is commonly in front of the storm, although some does go to the back. This storm formed in the west and progressed to the east. The farm has very little to stop a high wind from the west, like no hills or anything like that. And the strong winds passed over this area, and I will show you some of the devastation that ensued. Now here we are in the fields, and the maple trees next to the home were actually the first to take a hit. And the tall trees were broken at the tops, and the large limbs were carried until they hit another maple tree on the south side of the home. And along their travel, the limbs decided that phone service was not needed, so they removed those wires too. Now, the maple tree on the south side of the home lost some pretty large limbs, and they went as far as 50 yards over into the field. And here you can see some of them that are piled up near the tree that we brought back. Now, the flat area of the farm, it continues pretty far, and then it drops into a ravine, and in that ravine is a grove of trees. Trees are mostly locust trees. Some are rather tall, and the trees are pushed on pretty much as you can see. The wind hit the trees straight in at the level of the ground before the ravine. And 3 or 4 of the trees, some of the larger ones, could not really stand up to the pressure from the wind, and because the way the ground was saturated with water at this point, they were uprooted. Here we are walking down the lane, which is actually beside the grove of trees that you saw, and you can see another limb from a treetop, and of course the spot on the tree from where it broke. Now, the inch of rain came in about 15 to 20 minutes, and all that water running off the fields had to go somewhere, and this ditch formed from the runoff. This is that ravine that we saw from above, and the ground is much too soft to walk into, but you can see from here where the trees fell and some of the root systems that are now exposed. Now, as the weather changes and the summer progresses and we get a little more dry spells, eventually we'll be able to get in there and remove those trees. And the road was covered by broken trees and limbs, and some of them are still along the road, and we'll see them in a little while. And this has been what straight-line winds from a microburst can do to a farm, and the woods, and the road. And if you'd like to stop by and help us, we'd accept that help. Of course, you won't get paid, and if you get hurt, you're on your own. You have to sign the waiver. Well, we'll see you when you stop by, and we'll hand you a chainsaw. Well, no, we won't hand you a chainsaw, because if we do, then we're liable. So bring your own saw. Thanks.